full-timers. We
Okay.
have about 5 or 6 straight.
Hello and welcome to Friday Night Football on the PlayOn Sports Network. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Chula Vista High School in Chula Vista, California. I'm Robert Fields along with John Henry on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Granite Hills High School Eagles against the host Chula Vista Spartans. And they both come into the game at a 0-0 record as it's the first week of high school sports in San Diego section. And you don't get more pumped up than the first week. All your hard work from January comes into this. And on the side for Chula Vista, they have high expectations on their side, John Henry. They finished third in the league last year, so they're looking to bounce back. Got a lot of guys returning. What's some of the outlook for Chula Vista?
Man, Chula Vista, I think we saw it on this little pregame celebration that they had. some kind of Islander celebration, kind of really getting themselves pumped up, getting the fans pumped up, bringing a high energy into this game tonight. You know, everybody out here is just ready for this first week of football in San Diego. All of our listeners, us, of course, the coaches, and especially the players. So watch for some big hits tonight.
And on the other side, Granite Hills is led by first-year coach Kellen Cobbs. And as a first-year program, you're really going to – this is a game that's going to show what kind of work you put in the offseason.
Definitely. You got to really be patient out there and be able to motivate your guys, because this is really setting the tone for the rest of the season, especially as a first-year head coach, maybe your career, you know. So I'm sure you can't show that you're nervous. Got to put faith in your players and let them play hard out there. And
these guys are getting ready actually for the national anthem. We'll come back, highlight some of the star players that we're going to see tonight, and that's going to actually do it for our pregame show. Again, we'll be back in the kickoff in just a few minutes. Friday Night Football. Welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. Coming to you live from Chula Vista, California. I'm Robert Fields with John Harry Noel on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Today's matchup features the Granite Hills Eagles versus the Chula Vista Spartans. Both teams come in with a record of 0-0, as it is the first game, first week of the season here in San Diego section football. Two Division I schools ready to go at it and get this year started, John.
Definitely, and when we saw last year these two teams played, and it sounded like a pretty brutal match. Came down to the last second with 39 seconds left. Granite Hills ended up scoring a touchdown to go ahead, winning 22-21. You got to think it's a little bit of a grudge match here tonight.
Absolutely, and going to be kicking off and on your screen going from right to left. It will be Chula Vista in their all-blue uniforms to kick us off. Right down the middle is going to be taken by Bethesda. Has a little bit of room along the left side. It's going to be dragged down at about the 25-yard line where Granite Hills will take over. Granite Hills is going to be led by their quarterback, Tyler Hopper, who's a senior, one of the returners for them. And it's always good for a first-year head coach when you have a returning quarterback there ready to put in some work.
Definitely. A little bit of experience. He's probably not too nervous out there, even though it is the first game of the season. Look for his teammates to really look to him for that leadership and for that poise, getting the early game going started here.
Hopper's going to be in the shotgun formation. Barks out signals. Lyman jumps, and they're actually going to call them for jumping
a little bit
sides.
Of encouragement there. And, you know, First game of the season, first down. These linemen are hungry. They've been going all year hitting their teammates. Of course they're going to want to look to someone else to hit, get across that line and find the quarterback, but just a little too excited there. Great play call there from the sideline, barking out those fake snaps.
So it brings up 1st and 5. Hopper getting a shotgun, flanked by Bible on his right. Hopper back to pass. Bisbal picks up, has a man caught. Going to be a first down, still getting some yards. Great catch there by Christian Ortiz. And Ortiz last year was all league on the defensive side of the ball, now having a little impact on the offensive side of the ball.
And got to give credit there to the offensive line, giving Hopper some good protection there, time to make the good throw, and it was a great little touch he put on that ball. He had to kind of loft it over the linebacker, but in front of the safety as he put it right in there for his wide receiver. About 15-yard pickup there, big pickup.
Is this going to be a 15-yard pickup? Again, Hopper in the shotgun formation, Bisbal to his right. He's going to roll out to his right, looking to throw. He's going to find his man again, gets 2 feet inbounds. Referee signals a catch. Great catch there by Josh Longbreak. And going to be just shy of the first down there.
Longbreak with a great pattern there, coming up his cut sharp. Hopper finding him right before the sidelines, getting out of bounds, getting those feet in bounds. Always important to do. Got to be smart out there, that's for sure.
Well, they're actually going to mark it as a first down, so ball is now at the 45-yard line for Granite Hills. Again, Hopper 2 for 2 on this drive, passing in the shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bisbal again. Now it's going to be Bisbal up the middle, handoff. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. And it looks like first one on the hit there was Sebastian Medina.
And Medina breaking through the line there. I don't know if somebody missed an assignment, but there were all blue jerseys there in the backfield and really didn't let the running back get any yards. 1 yard, looks like.
Yep, we'll call it a gain of 1, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 9. Ball on the 44-yard line.
Passing been so successful for Granite Hills early. Maybe look for them to pick up. They definitely don't want to get caught in a 3rd and long here.
9 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the first quarter of play for Granite Hills Eagles. Again, the handoff up the middle of Bisbal, gets by one, the initial line of defense, picks up about 4 yards on the play, and it's going to take it down to about the 40-yard line.
As opposed to the last play there, the offensive line doing a great job, making a pretty big hole for Bisbal, who had a nice run, nice solid run, bring it up a 3rd down. This is the big test here of the night, first big play here.
And Granite Hills, again, in their white uniforms with navy blue numbers. The eagle on their white helmet. Hopper, senior quarterback in shotgun, 2 wide receivers to his left this time. He's going to roll out to his right again, familiar side. Run a quick little out pattern. Pass is complete. It's going to be a first down.
Great catch there. A little bit of penalty, though, it looks like.
And again, the pass was caught there by Longbreak. And a penalty of roughing the passer, so I think it's going to be tacked on to the end of the play here.
Again, Chula Vista got to be smart. They've had 2 penalties so far on this drive. And it looks like they are going to tack on 15 to the drive, totaling 20 yards, just kind of given away here early. Got to be able to contain that excitement. You know, it's like we said, the first game of the season, but you got to be smart out there too. Keep your poise, especially on defense, because you know you want to hit someone.
So it takes them all the way down to the 15-yard line. So Granite Hills now in the red zone for the first time this year. 2 wide receivers to the right, same basic formation for Hopper and the Granite Hills Eagles. Sends a man in motion. Going to be a sweeping handoff. Taking that handoff is Tennant. Tennant gets to the outside and is going to be wrestled down. He's going to get to about the 9-yard line. So a great gain there by Tennant.
I like the play calling so far by Coach Cobbs for Granite Hills. Mixing it up, a couple runs so far, mainly passing it seems like. He's putting a lot of faith into Hopper, their senior quarterback, to lead this team down the field. And it's great to see him kind of spread the ball around because it just makes it so tough as a defense.
It's going to make it 2nd and a long 4 for Granite Hills. Again, same formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. Hopper sends another man in motion. It's going to be another handoff for Tennant. This time going from right to left. Tries to get to the outside. It's going to be dragged down. Great pursuit there by Make Wolfgram, who was one of the guys leading that big little presentation celebration, getting pumped up before the game there.
And you can see some speed there from Wolfgram, not letting the wide receiver get to the outside. Granite Hill's running the same play there, just flipped it, mirrored side, running left instead of to the right. And Chula Vista able to read them just like a book, and Wolfgram picking up a big play there, bringing up another big play, third down here.
Yeah, no gain was on that play there, so still call it third and a long 4 in the red zone. This time they're going to go trips right. Are the Granite Hills Eagles. Hopper sends a man in motion and is actually going to take a timeout as Coach Cobbs didn't like the way that formation came out of the huddle. So Coach Cobbs will take his first time out of the game for Granite Hills Eagles. Again, you're listening to the PlayOn Sports Network, your destination for high school sports.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. That's playonsports.com/SBP.
Again, that's John Henry Noel. I'm Robert Fields, and we are here. Correction, it's Nolte. I can't even read my own writing.
No problem there, no problem. First time working together. We're getting our pregame jitters out too. No problem, no problem.
I know him as John Henry, so it's always difficult when you have to throw in a last name there.
And I don't have a short name, so I'm sorry about that. But
a man of 4 names here. So back to action again for Granite Hills Eagles. 3rd and 4. 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. Back in their standard formation, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 flanked out right. Hopper in the shotgun formation. Sending Tennant in motion again. This is going to be a little counter handoff up the middle to Bisball. He gets about 3 yards, so it's going to be short of the first down. And it looks like the offense is going to stay out there to go for this. Only going to be 4th and extremely short.
And on the defense there, looked like Uribe Delgado was able to get a hand on him. Good read on the play, seeing the counter with the fake sweep coming across this way. And like you said, 4th down here.
4th and 2 for Granite Hill. Still in the shotgun formation is Hopper. He has 3 wide receivers to the right, now 5 wide. 2 wide receivers flanked out to his left. Look for a quarterback keeper here. Hopper drops back, looking to his right, throws over the middle. Ball tipped, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Number 8, Hunter Gatto getting his hands on the play. Their ball actually went right through his hands. He looked a little disappointed after that one, but I'm sure he's got to be happy for his team there. The defense coming up strong at the end of the play, after working out some early jitters there early in the drive. Defense for Chula Vista coming up big in that drive, stalling the Granite Hills drive and retaking possession of the ball.
And now it's going to be showtime for Chula Vista. They're in there. Backed up against their own end zone, but they got a couple of star guys on their team. We'll get to them shortly. They're led by Ricky Estevez, the senior quarterback. He's under center. I formation, 2 wide receivers out. It's going to be a handoff up the right-hand side. Here's one of those stars. Javante Reed picks up the first down and more. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Huge pickup there for the Chula Vista Spartans.
And you see Reed there. He's got the speed. He's kind of the full package as a running back. It's like so fun to coach, I'm sure, out here for Chula Vista, but showing his speed and then running over a couple guys too, showing some strength.
Yeah, it looks like they're at about the that's the 22-yard line, so a big gain of 15 yards there for Javante Reed, who was one of those star players we have yet to mention. Have a great wide receiver in Holden, who's now flanked out to the left of Estevez. I formation again, Estevez under center, barking out orders. Lyman getting a little eager, getting another handoff up the middle to Reed. Reed takes a plethora of Eagles to bring him down, but not till he picks up about 5 yards on the play.
And Chula Vista here trying to set up this game is to be more of a running game, it seems like, and then maybe, like you were saying, Robert, flank one out. We just saw the one-on-one coverage here, man-to-man if he's got a step, they could really throw one down the field and pick up some major yards, even a big touchdown here.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first quarter of play for Chula Vista Spartans. First drive of the first game of the year for them. Estevez under center. Back to pass, now looking for the man Ray Holden, and he just bobbled the pass there. So incomplete pass is going to bring up third down for the Spartans.
And Holden looked like he was running before he caught that ball. He had his back to us, so we couldn't quite see. I thought for a second he had possession and maybe just lost the handle on the ball. Luckily for Chula Vista, he just dropped it, didn't quite lose it because Granite Hills was there to pick it up. Would have given him some great field position on a turnover.
I think that was a legal man in motion there for Chula Vista. I thought they could have got a man for actual false start.
The running back or the
it
fullback,
looks like Reed was ready to go a little bit in the backfield.
Little movement.
So I don't know if that's what they call for the motion. And it looks like Coach Cobbs is actually going to deny the penalty. Yeah, the penalty has been denied. So it's going to bring up third.
3rd and 3, little faith in the defense. I like it. The young coach making a decision there to decline that. Little gutsy call here early in this game.
Absolutely. Estevez, now 3 wides. It's going to be a handoff to the single back, which is Reed. And the safety has to bring him down. And when your safety is bringing back the running back, that's not usually a good thing. First down, Spartans.
You know, when you're in a big position like that, you need a play from someone. You go to someone who you really trust, who's going to pick up those 3 yards. Turned out to be about 13 yards for running back Javante Reed. Man, he's going to have a lot of touches, a lot of yards tonight, it looks like.
Yep, ball now at the 41-yard line. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play for Chula Vista. Second first down of the drive, both thanks to the legs of Javante Reed, who's now the eye back here as Estevez goes under center again. Play action fake. Estevez rolling out and looking for the fullback there was Wolfgram. Off his hands, incomplete. It's going to bring up second down.
Wolfgram looked like it was just a little out of his reach, and with those big shoulder pads and the chest pad, it's hard to extend those arms all the way sometimes. But we're as a quarterback, you know, you're asking your wide receiver, your fullback, or your tight end to make a play there, and I think he wants that one back, Wolfgram.
Yeah, absolutely. So 4 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the first quarter of play as Estevez gets his team set. Again, Reed up the middle. Breaks through the tackles. He could go all the way. He will go all the way. 10-5, touchdown, Javante Reed.
Looks like they're going to tack on a little unsportsmanlike conduct to the run there, but we do not want to take away from that amazing run, about 55, 60 yards almost from one side of the field to the other. Reed just using that breakaway speed. Nobody was going to catch him. He could have ran another 100 yards, it looked like, and nobody was in sight. He just broke away so quickly. See those quick steps, but not only the quick steps, but that top speed. He shifts into that last gear and just goes.
So it's going to be a personal foul.
Penalty against Chula Vista. Personal foul against the Spartans.
I saw one flag in the end zone
Right.
for the excessive celebration, and then we saw 2 more flags back at about the 35-yard line, where I guess, and that's about where Javante Reed broke that tackle.
Right. So it might have been something that we didn't see. I mean, that's exactly what it was. We didn't see it.
I'm
But
guessing maybe a player might have come up after that tackle was broken or whatever the case may be. So they're going to mark it from the spot of the foul, it looks like. So from the 35 and 15 yards, takes it right about to the 15-yard line. I mean the 50-yard line.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Chula Vista.
yeah, so they're calling the unsportsmanlike conduct against Chula Vista and bringing the ball back from that last down.
I don't
from
know
the
if
spot
they
of
get
the
tacked
foul.
on double penalties, but they just marked it back 30 yards. Referee stopped at 15, then walked another 15.
Right.
And now they're at the opposite end at 35.
It's a mystery.
So it brings up 2nd and 17. Ball at the 34-yard line of Chula Vista. 4 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the first quarter play. But you saw some of that big play ability of Javante Reed.
I don't think that's all we're going to see from him tonight. He's going to be running all night.
Estevez barking out the signal, then gets down, gets his team set. Reed again, the power back. It's going to be another handoff to him. Trying to break through the line, and he's going to get back to what is now the original line of scrimmage, which is at about the 41-yard line.
Man, that's really tough to come back from that because you're getting the momentum, then you see a big play, and as a Chula Vista offense, you can see them. They wanted that one. They wanted to get off the field, get some water, get a quick break, but that's got to be tough. Got to be nice for the defense for Granite Hills, kind of getting a freebie there, and they're looking a little fired up here. They got to make a stop here on 3rd and long for Chula Vista now.
3rd and long, 3:43. Estevez backs up to shotgun. Again, Reed back there behind him. Reed's going to stay in the block, misses one block. Estevez pass over the middle. He's going to be caught for a first down. And Richard Walker. First down, Chula Vista, as Richard Walker picks up the first down, takes the ball to the 45-yard line.
Estevez with just a perfect throw on a perfect route run by Richard Walker there, and he went up about 2 or 3 feet in the air to grab that one and bring it down. He got the 12-yard pickup. Huge play right there. Richard Walker, look a little bit more of him. A very athletic student and athlete out there tonight.
Under center again. Quick pass this time out. It's going to be caught by Holden. He picks up 5 yards and he's going to go take him down at the 40-yard line, bringing up 2nd down.
A lot of times with these high school teams, you see a lot of running. You know, most teams don't have a quarterback who can really carry him down the field. But both of these teams tonight have strong, experienced senior quarterbacks who've been a big part in the game so far.
2 wide receivers to the right for Estevez. 2 minutes on the clock. He's going to take a hike. And ball is passed up it was handed off up the middle to the fullback. Wolfgram, he's going to fall forward for about 2 yards there. He's going to bring up 3rd down now. It's going to be 3rd and about a long 2.
And Richard Martinez on the tackle there for Granite Hills. It looks like he's the nose guard, I believe. And just keeping his guard, you know, his position is to hold that middle down. It's exactly what he did right there.
Estevez. Going to be a handoff to Reed. Reed off the right-hand side. Shakes the linebacker, spins around the safety. He's going to be taken down at the 21-yard line. Huge pickup for Javante Reed.
Reed there with a big run for Chula Vista. Showing a little fancy footwork there in traffic, not just one-on-one situation, but he was carrying a guy and then trying to spin around another guy, and he's very athletic running back out here tonight.
So just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Chula Vista knocking on the edge of their red zone. I formation, 2 wide receivers to the right for Estevez. Dotted by Reed, sends a man in motion as Holden. He's going to stop. It's going to be a play action fake. He's going to pass out to the fullback again. Wolfgram has some room, tries to run over, defender does, and takes it down to about the 6-yard line for Chula Vista.
And Chula Vista with another huge down. They're going to have 4 chances here to punch this one in. They got 6 yards to go. And Wolfgram there, man, he picked up an extra 3 or 4 yards just putting his head down, taking on 2 tacklers and falling forward for that extra 6 yards, putting his team in a great position here to punch this one in. They could run, they could throw. I think Granite Hills is on their heels a little bit right here.
Well, look for maybe a fade over to Richard Walker. He's on that far right-hand side. Estevez goes under center. Sends a man in motion is Holden. It's going to be handed off up the middle. He's going to get his legs taken out as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Other called a gain of 1 maybe on the play. 1 minute on the clock. The nose of the ball on the 5-yard line. Play comes in from the sideline, and Drew Rachel in his 8th year guiding these Spartans. Again, loaded on the offensive side of the ball. Estevez checks his guys, make sure everybody's set. Under center, I formation. It's going to be a handoff up again. Takes a couple of defenders. Reed very close to the end zone. Yeah, and he's going to be marked down at about the inch line. Great team effort there by Granite Hills to keep Reed out of the end zone.
Yeah, it needed to take a whole team effort there. Reed got hit at about the 4-yard line and carried 2, 3, maybe 4 guys by the time he was dragged down just before the end zone there. And I thought he fell in, but we're way up here and those umpires are way down there. So. And
Chula Vista is content on letting the clock run out of the first quarter of play here. So after 1 on PlayOn Sports Network, Chula Vista is 0, visiting Granite Hills Eagles 0. And again, you're listening to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with us and all your high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
All right, so Chula Vista is actually going to take over as we begin the second quarter. Ball on their 1-yard line, so referees and the whole team march 99 yards back down the other way. Chula Vista now going from left to right. Looks like a little bit of a wing T formation, and it's going to be handed off to, once again, Reed. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Javante Reed and the Chula Vista Spartans.
Reed really working for that one. He didn't have a huge hole to get in the end zone. Got hit right at the goal line and pushed his way in. Looks like we have another penalty on the play here after this touchdown. Second time in a row this has happened. So we'll see what the umpires are going to say. They're conferring in the middle there, talking about what each one saw.
We'll see if the touchdown holds or if Reed gets his second touchdown called back.
Away, yeah.
Referees are still discussing.
Personal foul against Chula Vista. Penalty will be taken on the kickoff.
So the touchdown will stand for Javante Reed as a penalty on Chula Vista, which will be assessed at the kickoff. So Javante Reed 1-yard touchdown is good for Chula Vista, giving them a 6-0 lead pending the extra point here. Snap is down, kick is up, and through the uprights it goes. Kicker on the play is Carlos Aparicio. Makes it 7-0 here. Chula Vista on top.
Really would have been a shame there if Reed would have had another touchdown taken away. 2 personal fouls, excessive either celebration or a little bit of extracurricular activity in the middle, but Reed really earning that touchdown there. I'd be willing to bet that it's not going to be his first or his only one tonight.
And a couple of scores from around the county, a couple of games that are interesting. Not only this one, but Helix and Eastlake. It looks like Eastlake is up on Helix 6-0, and also Madison up on Lincoln 7-0. So those 2 games from around the city, 2 marquee matchups that a lot of people are interested in.
Definitely.
But back to action here in Chula Vista again. Javonte Reed can really do it all. In one game last year, he had 389 rushing yards. I mean, that is a man game right there.
Unbelievable.
A lot of carries, a lot of rushing yards for Javonte Reed, and you seen it on that play there. He has a big play explosive ability and the ability to kind of drag some guys.
Yep.
He did a great job there on that drive, really dragging guys extra yards.
Yeah, he's the go-to guy if you need a yard to punch it in the end zone, and he's the go-to guy if you need 12 or 15 to get it first down or move down the field.
And it looks like DeHaven is going to chase the ball all the way back to the 1 yard line for Granite Hills. Back about the 15, has a little bit of space, gets a big block to the 40, to the 50. One man to beats the kicker, tries to shake move, and is going to be taken down at the 35-yard line. Huge return there by Blake DeHaven.
And DeHaven there showing a little bit of speed on his own. I think he might have heard us talking up here about Chula Vista's speed and offense. He goes, let me show you what I got. And like you said in that play-by-play there, huge hit. Didn't pick up the number on it, but really allowed Blake to get an extra few yards, actually like 30 yards on that big hit there, sending a message, not just a block.
So Granite Hills takes over with 11 minutes, 31 seconds to go. Their second drive of the game. A great field position. Can't ask for a better return there. That's Hopper. Again, shotgun formation. Since Tennant in motion, it's going to be a handoff up the middle. It looks like that was Norris. Couldn't. Yeah, that was Norris, the senior running back there, as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play there. Hopper with the play call from the sideline, and Coach Kellen Hobbs. Again, looks like it's going to be shotgun formation. To his right is Bisball. 2 wide receivers. Back to pass again is Hopper. Rolls out to right. Has a man, and just saw the outstretched hands intended for Cal Norris. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 for Granite Hills.
Hopper looking for Norris there, just out of his reach. Threw it out of bounds. But if you watch his technique when he throws, he doesn't really step in and throw that ball, put all his weight behind it. He kind of sets back on his back foot and tries to loft it over the defenders who are maybe just in front of his targets, his wide receivers. Works most of the time if you need to dump it over, but sometimes you need to zing one in there.
Trips to the left for Granite Hills and Hopper. He's going to roll out to his left, throws out the backfield, is going to be caught there by Ortiz, and he's going to be taken down after a 5-yard gain. So it's going to bring up 4th and 5 for Granite Hills. Decision time here. Went for it earlier on 4th down in the red zone. They're going to go for it here as well.
And I like the aggressive play calling here. You don't want to give that ball away after you just got it, so why not go for it? Little aggressive call. Still early in the game, down by 7. You got 5 yards to go. You got to ask someone to make a play here. You just need 5 yards.
30-yard line. Ball is hiked again, rolling out to his left. Defender with wide receiver is taken down, and Hopper couldn't do anything with it. He's going to be sacked for a loss. And Hopper really had his eyes set on long break there, but within that 5-yard long break, looked like he slipped a little bit there.
Yep.
And Hopper was hung out to dry.
Yep. A little unfortunate there, but you got to credit the play of the Chula Vista defense there, covering downfield, not letting Hopper find any of his targets, and forcing him to try to make something happen. And when you try to beat 2 guys, in this Chula Vista defense, it's not going to happen all the time.
Yeah, Hopper had no secondary option on that play. It was rolling out, looking for long break the whole way, and once he went down, Hopper was already close to the sideline and resulted in a sack. So ball on the 32-yard line for Chula Vista to take over here. 9:45 in the second quarter. Referees signal time. So everything is copacetic, and now we get more whistles. Okay, so a couple of clock issues. It's at 9:42.
First game for everyone tonight.
First game for everyone. Estevez, 3 wide receiver, And they're going to get a false start. A little eager on that play there was, looks like Aparicio, but he's the kicker.
And it's tough. You never want to make excuses for the guys out there, but after the referees you're getting into your set 2 or 3 times. They had the referees were blowing the whistles for the clock there, and then you're getting ready to play. Maybe forget that you go on 2. Yeah. And that happens sometimes, but you got to keep your head in the game.
That was Jalon Chandler, who's only a sophomore, so that may lend a little reason to why he was a little eager out there.
Yep.
Okay, so 9:42, Chula Vista is going to take over. Under center this time is Estevez, back to pass. Quick little fade route, but it looked like not on the same page was Holden and Estevez. Holden was cutting in, while Estevez threw that more towards the sideline. Sings over his head. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
And I think what I caught there, the tail end of a little battle there between Terrence Battle, the DB on the play, having a little bit of contact right off the line, and really not letting the wide receiver get off the line. And maybe that's why that throw was supposed to go over the outside shoulder, but it's the wide receiver couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Good coverage.
So now for Estevez, he has 2 wide receivers to his left. Holden and Walker. In motion is Holden. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle to Reed. And he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe gains the extra yard. So to about the 32 and a half.
Christian Ortiz there on the tackle, linebacker flying outside, getting outside the hash mark, getting outside his comfort zone there in the open field and making a good play, good tackle. Bringing up another big play here, just going down to about 9 minutes before halftime, 3rd and 10 for Chula Vista.
Estevez under center, 3 wide receivers for him. Reed, lone single back to pass. Looks like it's going to be a little bubble screen, and Estevez threw it right to the lineman, catching that interception and rumbling down the field. Finally being taken down is Connor Blakely.
And Connor Blakely staying home on the play. I think he actually read that screen because he actually dropped back a little instead of pursuing the quarterback, making a real smart play out there. And he's a junior only. He's got an extra year coming, and that's probably his first interception of his career there.
Connor Blakely kind of just in the right place at the right time. Estevez, poor decision on that pass.
Yep.
He kind of just lobbed it right to Blakely. He said, okay, I can catch this pass.
Sure, he's not known for his hands, but when it hits you right in the gut, you got to be able to catch that one. And he did.
So ball now on the 18-yard line. And not going anywhere on that play is Bisball. And they're trying to say it was a fumble.
Confusion out here. I don't think the quarterback ever passed that ball off. He held it the whole time.
I thought it was a handoff when he was taken down. The quarterback still has the ball in his hands, and he scampered into the end zone. Referees blew the play dead, so I think that's going to cause some harm. Little trickery even tricked the refs.
I mean, the hidden ball trick is something you see in baseball every once in a while, but I honestly couldn't tell you. It looked like he handed it off.
And he was tackled right away.
Yeah, big play by Chula Vista. Everybody's excited because he was tackled in the backfield. But all of a sudden you look up and the quarterback's got the ball. And he's in the end zone. We're going to have to go back to the video later on that one because that is.
So Cobbs is saying, hey, I got this design trick play. My first year here, that play worked, and you guys aren't going to give it to me.
Yeah.
And Cobbs has a lot of experience. Cobbs actually was a graduate assistant at San Diego State under Brady Hoke and Long there. So he's probably got a couple of trick plays in the bag, and that was one of them.
And it worked, but he's not going to get any points for it.
I believe because the referees blew the play dead, it's going to be a gain of no gain on the play, as the apparent handoff was for not. So it's going to go in the stat sheet as a handoff for no gain there for Bisball.
And it looks like there's still a little bit of confusion, and it looks like they're actually going to replay first down.
Hey, the play never happened. That's always a good
What
thing.
trick play? What trick play? I don't know. Maybe we'll see that one later. Maybe we'll see it right now. I don't know. Wow. Okay.
So Hopper now resetting 5 wide receivers here, making Chula Vista adjust on the fly, and we're going to be whistled. A lot of penalties here, a lot of whistles.
Everybody's settling in, getting comfortable, finding their rhythm.
And it's going to be a offside, so plus 5 yards
Offside against Chula Vista.
for Granite Hills.
It'll be first down and 5.
And we're going to play first down here for the third time.
So it looks like that's on the 13-yard line.
Yes, sir.
13-yard line, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter of play. Granite Hills started on the 18. Single back. Shotgun formation for Hopper. Sends a man in motion. It's going to be fake handoff. Nice little counter play there. Up the middle, spinning off a couple of defenders. Finally taken down is Bisball, but not until he picks up the first down and inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Bisbal with a great run there. Wanted to point out, quick thing, man put in motion. I believe it was Blake DeHaven coming across from right to left, picking up a huge block on the blitzing linebacker for Chula Vista, allowing the running back, Bisbal, to get that extra yardage, get the first down, and now they got 4 chances to punch it in.
Chula Vista 4-yard line.
So the Granite Hills Eagles are going to burn another timeout here. There's a little bit of confusion coming out of the huddle. So it's 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Granite Hills in the red zone looking to kind of tie this game up. We'll see what kind of play call they have. Again, you're listening to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
John Henry on the color. I'm Robert Fields here from Chula Vista, California, as the Spartans are starting their quest of what hopefully is for them a Metro Mesa League title. Many have picked them to finish first in league this year. A very tough league, a league that has East Lake, Olympian, Otay Ranch, and Bonita Vista. But looking to play a little bit of spoilers, Granite Hills, as they are knocking on the door, looking to tie this game up. Again, Chula Vista on top 7-0 after an early score in the second quarter. We're now 7 minutes into it, with 7 minutes left actually in the second quarter. Granite Hills on their 4-yard line. And Tyler Hopper, the quarterback. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers. Bisbal to his left. Sends a man in motion. And it's going to be the counter play again. And taken down. And it's going to be, they're going to say forward progress, so no gain on the play.
And David Zavala just making a beastly play out there, taking down the running back by himself. And like you said, they're actually taking back a yard, starting at the 5 now. Just a great defensive play by Zavala there. Excuse me, little tongue twister.
Trips to the left, this time for Hopper. Standing at his 10-yard line. Ball is high, looking left. Throws a quick out pass. Pass is caught. Big hit. Great defense there by Hunter Gatto, keeping Granite Hills out of the end zone. So ball is taken down to the 2-yard line.
Hunter got a real smart play right there. As a DB, sometimes you got to make a decision. You can't go tip the ball every time. You can't go make the interception, the big play every time. But he saw where he was on the field. He knew that the wide receiver was going to make a play, and he really let him pay for it there. Gatto with a great tackle.
Granite Hills, 3rd down, ball on their 2-yard line. Trying to score for the first time this year. Sending a man in motion. Going to be quarterback keeper. All to his right, throwing right, and touchdown. And that was actually the second string quarterback, Arath Blanco, threw that pass. Blanco comes in, throws a touchdown pass to Jacob Mazinga.
A couple guys who we haven't really heard from tonight too much, but that's kind of what it takes sometimes. You give it to someone who isn't the go-to guy, the big play guy, and shoot, if it works, why stop?
So touchdown for Granite Hills. I wonder if that's a special goal line package they have in there for the Eagles.
Might be.
Point after is up. It's going to be wide right, so no good. So our score with 5 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the second quarter is Chula Vista 7, Granite Hills 6.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Let your school sign up for the PlayOn Sports School broadcast program. The broadcast program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
John Henry, Robert Fields here on the PlayOn Sports Network, live from Chula Vista, California. San Diego section, Division I clash here for week 1. As both these ball clubs have kind of high expectations. Again, we mentioned Coach Kellen Cobbs for Granite Hills, his first year, ready to see what he can do with this ball club. A 2005 graduate of Granite Hills. So went off to college, became a graduate assistant, decided to come on back and help out his alma mater. And on the other side for Chula Vista and Coach Raychow, his 8th year here, he has one of the better teams that he's had in the history here, again with great skill players all over the field.
Yeah, and it's just so great to see Coach Cobb's come back to his alma mater. Like you said, he just graduated, what was it, 5 years ago? And he's coming back, helping out his boys. And you got to be excited as a coach, and you got to be excited as the players too. Like you feel like you're something special because this coach is a young guy. He could be doing anything right now.
Yep.
And he went to school. This was his goal. He's back here, and shoot, we've got a game tonight.
We've got a game. 7-6 is our score.
Yep.
So Granite Hills is looking to kick off.
You can hear both sides in this stadium getting excited, trying to get some energy into their teams to close out this half. I think we're still having a little bit of clock trouble. The referee is signaling to get the clock, take a few seconds off the clock, I believe.
So they're trying to work out the clock issues. Again, like you said, setting the clock.
They're going to put a few more seconds back on the clock, put it back to 5:39. Never know; those 5 seconds could be the difference in this one. It only was 39 seconds last game they played. What was the difference? Oh, now we're at 53:90 on the clock.
So still trying to work it out. Granite Hills has just decided to take a knee on their guys. Trying to get a few scores from around the county for you in the break, but we got the clock fixed, so we'll get right back to action then.
I don't know if you can really say right back to action, but we're back to action here.
Again, Granite Hills taking the 18-yard scoring drive. A little bit of a pooch kick is going to be fair. Cotty muffs it. Ball loose on the deck. Looks like he was the first one on it.
And Granite Hills a little more trickery here.
Yep.
Going for the little pooch kick.
Well, the referees didn't even run down to the play, so. Okay. So the thing is, we're getting a lot of whistles, but we're not seeing flags actually thrown.
Right. And maybe that's Maybe that's on us, but
Yeah.
but either way, they looks like they're going to take it back. Now, if you accept this penalty, they re-kick from about 10 yards back. But if you decline it, and that would mean that Chula Vista gets the ball at the spot, right?
Yep. Well, it looks like they're going to accept it, and it's going to be a re-kick.
Yeah.
So they go back a few yards. So now we'll see if they try the little pooch kick again. Maybe this time the up back will be a little ready for that one. He kind of caught a fair catch and ran right off his numbers.
Yep. Guy that's not used to catching the ball.
And it's another one. Calls it again, and this time he catches it. So Chula Vista will take over at the 41-yard line with 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the second quarter of play.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Estevez, after an interception on their last drive, 2 wide receivers to his left. This time they're going to give it to, looks like that was Reed again, and he only picks up about a yard on the play there.
And Granite Hill's defense, the Eagles are really doing a good job of stopping Reed and really plugging those holes, getting a lot of bodies into the box there. And we'll see if Chula Vista responds with maybe spreading it out a little more, taking a few chances here with only just over 5 minutes left in the first half.
Ball on the 41-yard line for Chula Vista. Call it 2nd and 9. Estevez under center. I think we're going to get a heavy dose of Reed on this drive here. Yep, back to pass. Going deep for Ray Holden. He catches it. Is he out of bounds? Nope, he caught it inbounds. It's going to be a first down as the ball is taking to the 45-yard line.
And Estevez just putting a perfect touch on that over the defensive back, right into the hands of Holden, who went above the defensive back to make that play. And then, he doesn't only have to out-jump the defensive back. He doesn't only have to catch the ball. He's got to come down with 2 feet, or 1 foot actually, in bounds here. And it just extreme athleticism shown here by these wide receivers, especially Ray Holden there on that play.
Now it's going to be Javante Reed, and gang tackle is not going to get anywhere. In fact, he may lose a yard. Forward progress actually going to give him a yard.
Reed there, I don't know if he's used to being tackled like that.
Yeah, he
usually got hit a little bit there.
Usually makes the first couple guys miss, but it's kind of hard when you're getting gang tackled by these linemen. So see if the linemen do a better job on the offensive line for Chula Vista, getting a little better push.
Yep, just getting a little space because Reed really doesn't need a whole lot of space to make something happen. Just got to get him that first few steps.
2nd and 9, ball on the 44. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go for Estevez and his Spartans. Back to pass, looking over the middle. Throws over the middle, throws a bullet. Man is brought down, no flag on the play. Pass was intended for Nesto Jaimez.
And Jaimez looking for a little bit of a flag there. Looked like he got pushed in the back from this angle. It was a good, strong throw over the middle by Estevez. Either way, it's going to be a long 3rd down here.
For the Spartans.
For the Spartans, thank you
Yep.
for finishing my sentence.
4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half of play. Chula Vista's last drive stalled with the interception, looking to bounce back here. And could have some movement on the line. There is the flags. Gonna be false start.
And the Granite Hills defense celebrating, showing a lot of life out there. They know they've got a little bit of an upper hand right now, a little bit of the momentum. Even though they missed that point after, they're marching back. They're marching Chula Vista back.
And now it's a senior lineman, Ray Samuels. You would think he would know a little bit better not to kind of go off, go with the false start there. But he kind of walking back to the huddle with his hands kind of up, like maybe I just didn't understand the call too much.
Yeah, got to be on the same page out here.
So he shuffles now over to the left side. Estevez goes under center, 2 wide receivers, I formation. Again, Reed back there. Big sweep to the left. Here's Reed with a little bit of room. Gets the outside, has the first down, gets a big block downfield. Still on his feet, finally taken down. Looks like he's taken down right at about the 21-yard line.
And Robert, you were just saying that that offensive line has to do a better job of getting Reed just a little bit of room. And he got a little bit of room right there. They ran the play to the outside, far side of the field. He had plenty of space to run. He got some great blocks downfield, not to mention, you know, those guys up front giving blocks, but even everybody else on the field's giving blocks. Big, huge run there. They needed it. They've got some momentum now. They want to punch it in.
And when Javonte Reed gets the outside, his speed is kind of unmatched with some of these linebackers.
Yep.
They've been running about the middle quite a bit. Sending a man in motion is Holden. And it's going to be given to the up back. He has plenty of room, making a few man miss, dragging a few man, picking up the first down is Huey Wolfgram. The junior fullback is getting great yardage there for the Spartans.
And you mentioned it that last play, Robert. They're sending Reed up the middle, trying to punch him through, get a couple yards. They send him outside, and now all of a sudden Granite Hill's defense is saying, shoot, now we gotta overcompensate outside because we gotta match his speed. And then they go right back up the middle with someone else and pick up a big gain. Now looking to punch it in here before the half ends.
And that ends in about 3 minutes and 35 seconds. 2 wide receivers to the right. It's Holden and Walker on the right side. Estevez gives him a little knee touch. See what kind of signal that was. And it's going to be handed off up the middle. Bounces to the right, and it's going to be taken down as Javonte Reed. After he picks up about 3 yards on the play, taken down to about the 5-yard line.
And senior linebacker Jacob Mazenga making the solo tackle on Reed there. We won't see Reed taken down by too many guys this year solo. And that's pretty athletic, strong play by Mazenga to really save a touchdown. I think Reed was looking for the end zone.
And it looks like Chula Vista is kind of sending in their big package as looks like Holden as well as Walker come over to the sidelines. So all linemen on the line of scrimmage, a couple tight ends out there. And it's going to be Holden trying to pound it up the middle, keeping his legs moving. Still moving and spun around. Referee running in the mark. It looks like about the 1-yard line. 1-yard line. So gain of 4 there for Javonte Reed.
And you mentioned that big package coming out there. Looked like we had Ray Samuels, Alexis Chavez, and David Zavala, the front 3. And they've got, to put it lightly, a few inches on the defensive line and a few extra pounds too. I mean, those are some big guys, and they're really looking and they're asking those guys to make a big push up front.
Minute 54 left to go in the first half of play. Ricky Estevez, a little bit of a wishbone formation. Javonte Reed's back there, and more whistles.
Timeout on the field taken by Granite
And
Hills.
timeout by Granite Hills, their 3rd timeout of the half. So 1 minute 47 seconds left to go. Chula Vista looking to add on to their score. Their lead 7-6 here on PlayOn Sports Network.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school's playoff and championship events in all sports from all across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Pigskin report on KUSI Friday night at 10:30.
And it looks like from not too far, Helix is up 14-6 over Eastlake. Got one of those scores coming in. But John Henry, for Chula Vista, you know, they got this great running back in Javonte Reed, but they also have some outstanding wide receivers. I'm surprised they don't just throw it up to one of them, let them go get it in a situation like this.
Yeah, and they've done that a few times, and we've seen some 3rd and longs. They're going to the outside, going to guys like Ray Holden, and it's working. So you'd think that maybe they'd fake the draw or the counter and then just, like you said, float one up to him and let him make a play.
Instead, on this 3rd and short, and Chula Vista's previous touchdown came from the 1-yard line as well. which was Javonte Reed, the first play of the second quarter. Now looking to add another 1-yard touchdown possibly. As under center goes Estevez. And it's going to be Reed again. Bounces to the outside and scampers in for the 1-yard touchdown. Touchdown, Chula Vista Spartans.
Really good read there by Reed. That play was designed to just pound it straight up the middle, and he just kept bouncing it outside. They got a good push off the line, and he walked into the end zone without getting touched. Great play there. Good push by the guys up front, and then just a smart play by Reed.
So Javonte Reed with the second touchdown of the evening. Both here in the second quarter, both on 1-yard trots into the end zone. Kicking unit onto the field for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up. Through the uprights it goes. 14-6 is our score here as Chula Vista leads the Granite Hills Eagles with 1 minute and 41 seconds left to go from Chula Vista High School.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
That's John Henry Winter Nolte. I'm Robert Fields here from Chula Vista High School in
Almost
Chula
halfway
Vista,
through the game.
California.
It's all right. Just giving you a hard time.
So Chula Vista leads 14-6, and we knew that it kind of had a high-powered attack, but it's kind of taken them a little bit of a while to get the oils and the machine kind of running smoothly here.
Yeah, and the bugs are going to get worked out here, hopefully in this first half. I know Chula Vista, it looks like they've got the talent, they've got the coach, they've got the play calling, and it's just that last execution that just needs to come together for that last play, and we've seen it here a couple times tonight as they lead 14-6, and sometimes it comes in the foot of the kicker, Carlos Aparicio, putting 2 extra points in, taking on the kicking duties for the kickoffs as well, and who knows, it was just 7-6 before this, just 1 point a game, that extra point, that field goal, that's huge, yep. and he's taking on those duties well tonight.
And this time we'll see if maybe Chula Vista kicks it away from Blake DeHaven, who had that monster return on their last kickoff. As we're resetting the clock to 1:43.
And we look at how much time is left, but you look at this Granite Hills offense, and they've got the guys who can make big plays happen. They can march down the field in 1 minute 43 seconds and make this happen.
And they are going to kick in the way of Blake DeHaven. Is actually going to go out of bounds right at about the 2-yard line. So it's going to be a penalty, and I think they're going to bring that out to the 35 or 45. I can't even quite remember. We'll see where they bring it out to.
And, of course, as soon as I talk about the kicker, Aparicio puts that one right out of bounds. I feel like that was kind of my fault, so I'll take that one. But on the other side, Granite Hills, this is exactly what they want. They've got a shorter field than usual, good field position to start, and they've got just over 1.5 minutes to march. Looks like they're going to put it to 35. You're right. Yeah. March 65 yards here and go for goal.
So taking over at the 35-yard line is Granite Hills. See what they can muster out of this drive with the 1:43. Trailing 14-6. And Tyler Hopper is back in there at quarterback. Remember, Arath Blanco threw that last touchdown pass. And over the middle pass is caught there by Tennant. Actually, that's not Tyler Hopper. That's Chris Meredith. So Granite Hills doing a little QB shuffle on us.
The third one we've seen tonight. Rare. There we go.
So Chris Meredith, the junior quarterback, probably more the passing quarterback. He's back to pass again, rolling out to his right, finds a receiver, and he doesn't get out of bounds. He stumbles and is going to be taken down, but not till he picks up the first down. So clock stops on the first down. It's going to stop at 1:13.
And Meredith is coming in on the stat sheet here at 6'1", junior, but I don't know. He might have put on a few inches on the summer. He's pretty tall out there.
Ball at about the 45-yard line. Meredith rolling out to his right. And pass is thrown, and it's going to be incomplete.
It'll be second down and 10 for the Eagles.
So it brings up second and 10. 1 minute and 2 seconds left to go. And again, for a lot of these plays for Granite Hills, they roll out to the right, but they don't have many options besides one wide receiver. They don't have anybody kind of going deep or underneath. It's right in the middle, looking for their tight end kind of rolling across the field.
Yeah, and if he's not open, if he's shut down, then the play's done.
And they kind of forced that one to him as he was at the sideline. Meredith now has trips to his left. Pretty sure he's going to roll out to his left, and that's what he does. Picks up a block, throws it back to his right, and it's a little bit of a ground ball. Unable to scoop it is a wide receiver, intended wide receiver. So that brings up third down. Good play call there, kind of a
great
everybody,
play call.
Everybody look one way, we throw it back the other way, but just couldn't execute the pass.
Great play call, and the big part of the reason he couldn't execute that pass was that Chula Vista front line really getting some good penetration, getting way into the backfield, making Meredith throw off his back foot and just couldn't quite get it there. If the receiver did catch it, he got 2 blockers downfield and about 20 yards in front of him.
So Meredith now, 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Has Bisball right there with him. Meredith takes a snap, drops back, big pass rush over the middle. Flag was down, but flag was picked up and spun around for about a 3-yard gain. Clock stops, and looks like it's going to be a timeout on the field.
And Wolfgram showing some speed there, really chasing down that receiver and dragging him down. And Wolfgram's not a small guy. He's moving pretty quickly out there. I believe he's playing middle linebacker.
Yeah. That was interesting. We said we haven't seen many flags, but we heard whistles. That time the flag fell, no whistle. Referee quickly picked it up. I think it kind of just fell out of his pocket as he was chasing the play there.
Or he saw something, or he thought he saw something that he didn't see and picked it up real quickly.
So we're at 47.2 seconds left to go. 4th down for Granite Hills. 2 of their 3 previous drives stalled on 4th down. We'll see how they do on this one. In the one drive where they didn't stall, they started at the 18-yard line and were able to punch that one in for a touchdown. Their only touchdown of the game. They trail 14-6.
That would be huge for Granite Hills to be able to go into the locker room at 14-13 or even 14-14 if they could finish off a 2-point conversion, because they're really, I'd say that they're hanging around, but they're actually playing really good football, keeping Chula Vista on their heels a lot of the times on offense and defense, and really giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, but actually it looks like Granite Hills is going to come out in a punt formation. They don't want to turn this one over on downs and give Chula Vista plenty of room to operate with, so they're going to try to pin him deep. And the kick is off, end over end. Ball's going to bounce at about the 25 and roll down. Gets to about the 16-yard line. And that's where it'll be marked down. So Chula Vista, 1st and 10 at their 16-yard line.
And as aggressive as Granite Hills has been tonight, you'd almost expect that one to be, you got to go for it. 6 yards to go. But at the same time, you don't want to go into the locker room at 21-6. So really a real smart, conservative play by Coach Cobbs, trying to pin Chula Vista back in their own zone. Now they've got 37 seconds to go, 85 yards.
He's taking his chances. He says if they go 85 yards, hey, that's hats off to them.
Yep.
But they have the talent again with these 2 outstanding wide receivers who are now flanked to the left of Ricky Estevez. That's Reed and Walker. Estevez instead is going to give it off to Javante Reed. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gains 2 on the play. And the clock will continue to run. Chula Vista looks like they seem to be content.
Yep. If you're Coach Ratcho, you're more than happy going in up just over a touchdown. And
again, handoff to Reed. Gets a little bit of space. Gets down to the safety and finally taken down at about the 32-yard line. Clock still running. No, clock will stop after 1st down, so it'll stop at 9.6. Estevez getting the play call from the sideline. And referee starts it, and it looks like Chula Vista is actually going to be content going to halftime after that big run there. So at the half,
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the first half.
Chula Vista on top 14-6 as Chula Vista leads the Granite Hills Eagles. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Welcome to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, coming to you from Chula Vista High School in Chula Vista, California. I'm Robert Fields, alongside John Henry here. Our halftime score is Chula Vista 14, Granite Hills 6. And Granite Hills kind of stalled on a couple of their drives, kind of went for fourth down, didn't get to go. Got there one drive, was about 18 yards on the drive there. But the real story of this first half has been Javante Reed, who's really done it all for Chula Vista.
Yeah, and we've talked about him all first half. He's got the explosive speed, so he can cut back and forth, change direction real quickly to get out into the open field. Once he's into the open field, you can't catch him. I mean, he's so fast, and he's not just quick, but he's got that top speed where he can just break by everyone and leave you in the dust. We've seen it a couple times tonight. Unfortunately, one, I think it was a 60-yard run, was called back on a personal foul, but that kind of, if you're on the defense on that side and you see that happen, whether it's called back or not, you're a little worried. You keep an extra eye on a guy like that.
So Reed had a 60-yard run called back in the first half, in the first quarter, but for the first half, he still has 18 carries for 147 yards. I mean, just a phenomenal runner there, nearly 200 yards and a half. If they didn't call that play back there, he's done a great job here in this first half.
Definitely their go-to guy. But also, Chula Vista is able to spread it out. They've got a good QB in Ricky Estevez going outside to guys like Ray Holden, just ask him to make some plays, and they're getting good, positive yardage from that. And I think that's so important because it gives guys like Reed the opportunity to make big plays because the defense has to cover all of your superstars.
And on the other side, for Granite Hills, we've seen one quarterback start the game, one quarterback throw the passing touchdown, and another quarterback come in to finish the second half. So three quarterbacks in that first half of play for Granite Hills. Is Coach Cobbs kind of just going for what works right now, or what do you think he's thinking over there?
I mean, it could be a couple different things. It could be the strategy. He's a younger coach. He may have some new ideas. We've seen a little bit of trickery. We've seen some real aggressive calls on fourth downs, going for it when it's 4th and 5. And it might be just that he's not sure who the best quarterback is right now. I mean, each of the quarterbacks that came in were threw for positive yardage, made a positive impact on the game, and that's a good problem for a coach to have. But by the end of the season, I'm sure he's going to have one quarterback, and it seems like he's leaning a little towards his name is slipping. Meredith now as he's come in.
Well, we talked to the coaching staff before the game, and we asked him, okay, so who's starting? Is it Chris Meredith, the junior quarterback, or is it going to be Tyler Hopper, the senior quarterback? And, they told us that Hopper is going to be the one getting a start tonight. And then we didn't see Meredith come into the last drive, but throwing the touchdown pass was a Roth Blanco, who we didn't even mention to the coach, and he didn't mention anything to us about him either. So he came in to finish off their one touchdown drive there for Granite Hills. Again, Granite Hills 6, Chula Vista 14. We'll come back with the second half action here. That's going to do it for the Play On Sports halftime show. Friday night football will return in just a few moments with the start of the second half right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. You're watching PlayOnSports.com presentation of Friday Night Football live from Chula Vista, California. I'm Robert Fields with John Henry Winter Nolte here at Chula Vista High School, where Chula Vista is leading Granite Hills 14-6 as we get ready to start the second half of play. And John Henry, what kind of things do you expect in the second half of play?
Well, we were talking about a little bit off the air there, but Chula Vista might just be able to come out here with a bang. Couple big plays. They've got the talent to do it. They've got the quarterback, the wide receivers, the running back. Watch out for Reed. I mean, he's been a force to be reckoned with. Over 100 yards already this first half, and I feel like he might get over that this half here if they can really break away with it. On the other side of the ball, Granite Hills, they've been doing a good job, but it seems like they're just doing enough to stay in this. They've got to go above and beyond. They've got to take a hold of this game and run with it, or else Chula Vista's they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah. Now, do you think it's more of a bend, don't break philosophy for Granite Hills, or has Chula Vista's own penalties and interception kind of really been the one that's stopping them?
I think the mistakes need to go away. Exactly what you said.
So we'll see another little squib kick. It's going to be fair caught, and he bobbles it again. But 6 different players fall on it for Chula Vista.
And Granite Hills sticking with the smart play calling, kicking that ball away from the fast, talented guys who are ready to run that ball back 100 yards and kicking it to someone who's not a hands guy, that's for sure. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Got to be smart out there and give your defense a chance to do what they've been practicing to do all summer. This is what they're living for, and they've got to step up here, or else this high-powered Chula Vista offense could run away with it.
So Chula Vista starts with the ball here in the third quarter. Referee's talking to the lineman, letting them get everything set. They'll start at the 33-yard line.
First and 10, Chula Vista at their own 33-yard line.
Estevez, handoff to Reed.
Uh-oh.
And there he goes. Reed, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Javante Reed. Big play ability, strikes right there.
And Javante Reed with a huge hole by that offensive line opening up, and I think he was almost a little surprised to see that hole open up so quickly. He hit it hard. I don't think he was even touched. He ran, he was immediately 10 yards past anyone who had a chance to get him, and that was all history. Chula Vista striking first, striking fast, and striking big right here. First play of the second half.
I think that counted as a 67-yard touchdown for Javante Reed. Extra point is up and good. So score is now 21-6. And that run right there takes him over the 200 mark.
That was quick. Didn't take long.
214. And we talked about it a little bit off the air. Right before we came back on, we said, well, what kind of the keys? And I think Chula Vista finally settled down. I think they had a lot of penalties in that first half. The interception there, they finally settled down, and they just said, hey, man, go out there and run the ball and keep doing what you do. Yeah,
and sometimes in a first game like this, your coach is telling you, you're the best team out here. You can do this. You've got the better players. You've got, you've put in the hard work. Just go do it. And then you try to do it, and you kind of you lose a little self-confidence that it doesn't work right away. Oh my gosh, they're going to start exploding here the second half, because now every one of the players out there truly, really believes that any one of them can do that.
So Javante Reed with the first play of the second half explodes. 67 yards for the scamper. He was really almost untouched. I mean, there was one at about the 50. There was maybe a shoelace tackle that just kind of went undone, and that was the safety. Mm-hmm. So when your safety is the last man missing a tackle, it's pretty bad. And so we'll see how Granite Hills responds, and ball squibs into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback.
The Eagles will take the ball first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So this is going to be really interesting to see how Granite Hills responds here. They've got their coach, he doesn't have a whole lot of experience. He might know all the plays to call. He's been real smart on the play calling. But right now, he's got to focus on getting some small successes for his team, because they've got to really get back into this. And I don't think they're the kind of team who's going to do it one play, one big play. They've got to do it one first down at a time, eat up some clock, get some momentum, and punch it in, maybe take 6-7 minutes off the clock and do this. And if not, then they're going to be in a world of trouble if Chula Vista gets that ball back real soon.
And starting the second half for the Eagles will be Tyler Hopper, who started the first half as well. Didn't see the last 2 drives of that first half, but he'll take over on this first drive of the second half in shotgun. Takes a snap. It's going to be handoff up the middle to Bisball. Doesn't get very far. Falls forward for a gain of 1.
And I think that might be a good call, putting Hopper in there. Your senior quarterback, 6'2", 190. I kind of see him as a leader out there, the way he plays. And if you want someone out there who the other guys believe in, it's like we need somebody to follow right now. And he might be that guy to lead them down this field, even if it's just 1 first down at a time.
So start with 1 yard on that first play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9. So
they might need more than 1 yard at a time here.
So Hopper in the shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Bisball flanked to his right. He's going to take the snap, looks to his right, throws over the middle, passes, caught. Actually, he drops it. Big hit there.
Ball incomplete. Defended on the play by number 11, Adrian De La Vega.
It looked like Long Break was actually going to bring that one down.
He
hit the deck, and the ball hit the deck as well.
Yeah, as a defender, you want to separate the ball from the player trying to get it, and as soon as it hit his hands, Adrian De La Vega with a huge hit, number 11 for Chula Vista. That's one of those as a DB. That's what you're looking for, a guy to go up for a ball and you to be right there waiting for him before he even comes down. And that's a tough play as a receiver trying to come down with that ball when someone's waiting to eat you up.
10:58 to go in the third quarter. 5 wide now for Hopper. Pressure up the middle, throws it deep, has a man, and just mistimed his jump was Kyle Norris. And I think of Kyle Norris, he probably could have ran under that one. He kind of jumped for it, and it went right through his arms.
And Norris, not the biggest guy out there, but showing some speed there, getting a quick 2 to 3 yards of separation. And if that ball was just thrown a little less, I think he's kind of off to the races there.
Yep. So it brings up 4th and 7. Or it should have been 4th and 9, but
Phantom yards.
Yeah, looking at the scoreboard. So it's going to be punt formation for Granite Hills. Chula Vista has a couple guys back to receive. It's going to be end over end. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Nope, it's going to bounce inbounds, roll out.
Ball punted out of bounds.
Looks like at about the 45. We'll see where they mark it.
Chula Vista have the ball first and
At the
10
44.
at their own 44-yard line.
And Chula Vista here getting that ball back very quickly. Got to credit the Chula Vista defense, getting their offense back on the field where they like to be, where they can do the most damage.
So last drive for Chula Vista was a 1-play drive thanks to the fleet feet of Javante Reed. We'll see how they respond now to their second drive. They have some of the same success. Reed along with Estevez in the backfield. Estevez shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers. He's going to look to pass. Over the middles, pass is caught. And there by Nestor Jaimez.
Number 3, Ernesto Jaimez.
And near a first down, right at the marker. And Nestor is still on the ground. Might have the wind knocked out of him, we hope. That's all that it is. And he's back up on his feet before the training staff can get to him. Not the wind, he has a limp.
He's walking off under his own power, which is always what you want to see, but he's definitely in some pain there as he was tackled, thrown down to the ground pretty hard after that pass across the middle. And we'll keep an eye on him and try to get word to you exactly how he's doing.
So they're going to call that a first down. Ball now at the 45-yard line of Chula Vista.
First and 10 for Chula Vista.
Estevez goes under center.
The Eagle 45-yard
3 wide receivers out to his left. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Javante Reed makes a couple guys miss. Nearly picks up another first down. It's going to call it a gain of 9 on the play.
And at the end of that run there, he bounced off a few guys, and I can't say that he was tackled really. He was hit hard, and he kind of lost his balance. But if he would have kept his feet under him, he had a little bit of room to run to that end zone.
Ball on the 36. 2nd and 1. 9 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Chula Vista up 21 28-6. Second drive of the second half for the Spartans. It's going to be I formation, dotted by Javante Reed, Wolfgram, the fullback, 2 wide receivers to his right, Holden and Walker. Holden in motion, going to his left. Play action fake, ball going deep, looking for Walker, and pass is tipped. And it's going to be an incomplete pass as they're looking for Walker up that sideline.
And Grant Henderson, defensive back for Granite Hills, making a great play there, doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Keeping with your man right on his hip, turning your head, finding the ball, and just deflecting it away. He was in no position to make a play on a interception, but just doing all he can to break up that pass.
Estevez back under center, I formation once again. Javante Reed dotting it. He'll get the handoff this time along the right side, and he's going to be brought down. It takes 3 Eagles there to bring him down, but not till he picks up that first down. Needed 1, got 3. So ball's now going to be marked at 34.
And a quick update here. It looks like the trainers on the sidelines are looking at Ernesto James, his left knee there, and taking it easy. He's still got his helmet on. Still looks like he's in some pain, but we're taking a look at it, and we'll keep you updated on his condition.
Once again, I formation. 2 wide receivers split back. Coming in motion is Holden. Little counter play. Javante Reed slides forward. That's a gain of 6 there. You'll take that anytime you can on first down.
Looked like he got tripped up a little there. Again, had a huge hole. And I think a lot of this is you got to credit, of course, Reed for hitting those holes so hard and using his speed, but that front line of Chula Vista giving him those holes, giving him the opportunity to run through and past other defenders. And Granite Hills got to do a better job of filling those gaps and swarming to the ball.
Estevez again, sending a man in motion. See if they go counter again. No, it's going to be up to the fullback. And Wolfgram, I tell you what, when he gets the ball, he's picking up 10 yards almost every time just as well. Primarily because Reed draws so much attention on that fake pitch.
Yep. It's tough. If you got to compensate for his speed, you got to spread out your defense so much more, and it just gives a guy like Wolfgram so much room to run. We've talked about his speed and his size. I mean, he plays fullback and linebacker, and he's chasing down wide receivers out there. You don't want to get in his way, that's for sure.
Looks like ball's on about the 15-yard line, and it's going to be a timeout called by Chula Vista. Again, you're listening to Friday Night Football on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and all of their other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com. Once again, that's PlayOnSports.com.
Live from Chula Vista, California, as Chula Vista High School is hosting the visiting Granite Hills Eagles. In the third quarter here with 7 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. Chula Vista in the red zone once again, looking to add to their lead.
Granite Hills has been on their heels this whole half as an offense and a defense, and they've got to figure out a way to break this momentum that Chula Vista's gained so quickly on that first play of Reed's. And if they don't do it anytime soon, then all of a sudden they're going to be down 3-4 scores. It's going to be rough to come back.
We'll see if they go to Javante Reed here. In fact, they do. No, it's a play fake. Into the end zone. Pass caught. Touchdown. Ray Holden. Looks like it's going to be a 16-yard pitch and catch from Estevez to Holden.
And Estevez putting that ball perfectly. Only guy who could have gotten that was Ray Holden. Great play, great route he ran to get some separation. And again, those soft hands of his, being able to haul that ball in, prance into the end zone, no problem, not touched. And this is what we're talking about. You don't want Chula Vista to run away with this if you're a Granite Hills fan.
And extra point attempt. Snap is down, kick is up. Through the uprights it goes. Our score is now 28-6. Chula Vista on top of Granite Hills Eagles with 7 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news about information and links to great highlights. Follow us on PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all your high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
That's the voice of John Henry Winter Nolte. I am Robert Fields, again live from Chula Vista High School in the San Diego section. Beautiful campus of Chula Vista here in San Diego County once again. And Chula Vista, with their skilled players, are really starting to kind of showcase their talents here in the early goings of the second half.
Definitely. They're walking around on the sidelines with a little more confidence, with their heads up in the air, knowing that they can kind of impose their will on this defense and stop the offense from Granite Hills.
Kick is off and into the end zone once again. Going to be an automatic touchback. So we'll see Granite Hills again start their drive from the 20-yard line. First drive of the second half resulted in a quick 3-and-out for them. We'll see how they respond to this one here.
And in that first drive, they tried to go and kind of lean on the pass. And the defense, the cornerbacks, the DBs, and the safeties of Chula Vista was able to shut them down just a little bit faster. The passes aren't perfectly right on spot, and they've really got to be if they want to make those work.
Hopper still the quarterback for the Eagles, sending a man in motion. Going to be a handoff sweeping along the side is DeHaven, and he gets taken right down on the outside after a pickup of about 6 yards on the play.
That's always tough when you run in motion all the way across the field, sweep, and you get to the other sideline, and all you see is blue jerseys there. We did pick up 6. It could be some momentum starting to go the other way, but they need more than just 6. They've got to have some consistent big plays here and try to keep this Chula Vista defense on their heels.
Hopper, shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, sending a man in motion. That's a long break. It's going to be inside handoff. Nope, it's going to be, looks like maybe a little play action, but Hopper kept it.
And I believe that was that play that we saw earlier when Granite Hills actually did score a touchdown, but the play was whistled dead because the fake was so good. The running back who actually did not have the ball was tackled, and they called the play dead, but standing in the end zone was the quarterback with the ball. Hopper had it.
I mean, they really sell that fake well. I think it's sold so well because Bisbal, he takes that hit and goes to the ground almost as if he has the ball. Most guys kind of take that hit, and then you can see that they don't have the ball in their numbers, but he goes down as if he still has the ball in his hands.
Got to sell it.
Hopper and Granite Hills brings up 3rd down. Long break. He's going to get it. Wide receiver pass. Wide receiver pass as he was coming in motion there. Kind of caught us off guard. But when you're Coach Cobbs, you got to pull out all the stops here to pick up your 1st down, and that's exactly what they do there. That was long break. I'm sorry, as that was Tennant making the pass there.
And a little bit of trickery coming out, like you said, Robert. Got to take out all the stops here to beat this Chula Vista team. But I feel like you've only got so many plays before the defense starts catching on and just outthinking the other guys. But if it's working, stick with it.
Hopper sending a man in motion once again. Going to be inside handoff, bouncing around in there and picking up a gain of about 6. Good running there once again by Bisbal. Actually, no, that was Kyle Norris.
And Norris is someone that we've seen playing wide receiver most of the time. So all of a sudden now he's taking handoffs on counters and running up the middle. I mean, just something that the defense isn't looking for, not expecting to happen, trying to catch him off guard.
5 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Granite Hills trying to march down the field. Hopper inside handoff. Once again, that's Norris, and he's going to be spun around and taken down. Looks like no gain on the play there.
And number 28 on the tackle there, Jalon Candler. Haven't said his name tonight, but he's been in there most of the game and picking up a big play there. I think he's playing defensive end, and he was able to chase down Norris, who's got some wheels there. And if he wouldn't have gotten him, he would have made it into the secondary and create a little damage there.
So brings up about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 for Granite Hills. Looking to his right is Hopper, throws to his right, pass is caught once again by Norris, and he's taken down short of the first down. So it looks like it's going to bring up 4th and about 2 for Granite Hills. I got to believe they're going to go for it this time.
You need the points, you need the first down, and even if you give the ball away right here, it's not much difference if your punter gives them an extra 40 yards to work with, because Chula Vista's kind of shown that it doesn't really matter where they start with the ball. They're going to end up in the end zone, especially this half. So here we go, big 4th down here for Granite Hills.
Granite Hills looking to convert on their first 4th down of the game. Hopper, 3 wide receivers. Sends Norris in motion, and looks like we're going to have a timeout called by Granite Hills. There's one of the coaches, I don't know if that was Coach Cobbs, couldn't tell who that was on the far sideline, running in to call that timeout.
He saw something that he didn't like, and especially on 4th down, you don't want to take any chances, because this is one of those plays where I know it's still early in the game, but you need points. You're down by three scores, and you need to take some chances and get these points, and you don't want to mess around.
So Granite Hills' first timeout of the second half. They burned all 3 in that first half. 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play on PlayOnSports.com.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the one you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com.
Hopper and his Granite Hills Eagles looking to convert on 4th down for the first time tonight. Hesitating, sends a man in motion. Hopper's going to keep it. That play was doomed from the start. Tackle for a loss on the sack there. And Chula Vista is going to take over. Looks like that is their 40-yard line.
And Chula Vista reading that play really well. I mean, it wasn't an easy play to read. They had this sweep coming across. They went for the fake sweep, and what happened was the wide receiver who was sweeping didn't pick up his block. So the tackler on the play there just kind of swept him aside and said, all right, the quarterback's got the ball. I'm going to take Hopper down, and then it's going to be our ball. So really a smart play for Chula Vista there, the linebacker or the defensive end. I'm not sure who made that play.
And Hopper was even hesitant after that fake. He kind of stopped and kind of stood. I don't know if he was waiting for a hole to open up.
I think he knew he was going to get hit.
Yeah, he was bracing for impact. Holden goes in motion from left to right. Estevez up the middle once again to Javante Reed. Picks up, call it 6 on the play.
Call it 6. And you see now Granite Hills' defense, a couple of guys kind of bending over in the huddle. They just came on the field, and maybe a couple guys playing both ways. Maybe getting a little banged up here near the end of the game, but they've got to figure out a way to stop. First of all, that run right up the middle, and then they've got to ask some of their guys on the outside to make some big plays to stop guys like Reed from getting free.
Actually, that was the other Reed. That was Javon Reed, younger brother of Javante, who's now in the game. He's taking it this time. He's hit in the backfield, still pushing his feet. Forward progress is going to get him back to the line of scrimmage.
And Jacob Mazenga on the play there, keeping his feet driving, as Reed was keeping his feet driving too. Just kind of two forces going at each other and making a good, strong solo tackle there.
Now, I don't know if Javonte Reed is tired, if he's just taking a drive off, but he's on the sideline kind of trying to stretch his leg and trying to keep a monitor on that. Has his helmet up. So it's going to be 3 wide receiver set once again for Chula Vista. This time handoff in the backfield, spinning around. Looks like that's Nesto Jaimes.
Depending on where they spot this ball, it might be a first down, and it is. Chula Vista just imposing their will.
Yeah.
They're marching down the field here once again without Reed this time. And it looks like Granite Hills has got to find some fire somewhere, anywhere.
And the correction on that carry was Jorge Yanez. So Chula Vista now rotating in running backs and still keeping that same success. Ball now on the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Estevez, I formation once again under center. It's going to be a pitch to the left for Javon Reed, and he's going to pick up great yards in that play. Looks like maybe a pickup of 8. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 2 for the Chula Vista Eagles.
Quick update here on number 3, Ernesto Jaimes on the sideline. He's got his left knee wrapped up in some ice. He's still got his helmet on. I doubt we'll see any more action from him tonight, especially with the way this game is going. But you know, watch for him next week. Hopefully it's just a little strain and he can rest, ice it, keep it elevated, and he'll be good to go for the next week or the week after.
This time, up the middle, going is Jorge Yanez, takes a dive for the end zone, touchdown! Added with the 2-hand spike for emphasis. He was pumped after that run, and you got to applaud the effort. That dive from about the 2-yard line to get in there.
Yeah, he deserved that one. I mean, he was breaking through arm tackles like there was no tomorrow, and he's not playing like the score's 28-6 right now. He's playing like it's a tie game and they're down. They need every yard. And, man, he really earned those and then finally just busted right into the end zone. That was great run there.
So touchdown is good for Jorge Yanez.
Touchdown is good. Penalty against Chula Vista. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
So it looks like that was a 22-yard scamper for Jorge Yanez.
It looks like they're giving Chula Vista another unsportsmanlike conduct on that 2-handed spike, which will be taken care of on the kickoff. But, you know, that's the 3rd time it's happened tonight at least. And in a game that's close, I mean, that's 45 yards that you're giving away just because you can't control your excitement. Most of the time it's fine, but you got to be smart out there too.
And I'm a fan of always letting guys show their emotion as the extra point is up and then good to make the score 35-6 with a minute 25 to go here. But the man dives into the end zone after a great run.
Yeah.
Let him throw the ball down a little bit. He's not showing anybody up. I mean, he's just excited. He spikes the ball and kind of runs up to the sideline. He's not dancing. He's not pointing. He's spiking the ball.
Yeah, he didn't pull his Sharpie out and sign the ball and give it to the fan or anything. Yeah, it's something, you know, especially at this age, the guys are legitimately excited that they scored.
Yeah.
I mean, their families are here watching, their friends are watching. That's really exciting. They're not showing anyone up. But, you know, that's the way the game's ruled, and you got to be able to control that emotion and be smart about it, because in a game where the situation is a little tighter, I mean, you don't want to give up 15 yards.
Well, not only are there fans and parents here, but we're here as well at PlayOn Sports Network.
Of course.
So, you know, these guys are thinking, hey, I may have a play of the week candidate right here.
Exactly.
Where I'm diving in from the 2-yard line to get here. I'm going to make sure I spike this and make sure they get my name right. Good job, Jorge Yanez.
Jorge Yanez. I'll say it again. I like it. I like it.
Good 22-yard scamper.
Definitely.
So it's going to give Chula Vista a 35-6 lead as they get ready to kick off this time from their 25-yard line. So this one may not be a touchback, but a big kick's going to be taken at the 10-yard line. And coming all the way across field is DeHaven, and he's going to be taken down.
Great tackle there by Wolfgram. He was the first, Garcia on the tackle, Orlando Garcia, and just making a real athletic play. with the return man on the ball, DeHaven had some he was going full speed one way, cut back the other way, and most of the times you leave the defender kind of out to dry, but he was able to cut back, stay right with him, and make a great tackle.
So Granite Hills starts this from the 25-yard line. So that penalty in essence cost him about 5 yards. So they start from 25. Has the backup quarterback in, and he throws a grounder. That's Chris Meredith.
And to be honest with you, Chula Vista had that one covered very, very well, and he was about to catch that ball about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Almost okay that it was dropped or wasn't the best throw, and now they get to start second down and only 10 to go instead of 13 or 14.
Now Tyler Hopper is out on this one. I'm looking on the sideline. I don't see him. He did take a big hit to end that last drive, so I wonder if a few little cobwebs there as they bring in the backup quarterback, Chris Meredith, see if he can find some success for the Eagles. 2nd and 10, minute 13. He's going to keep the handoff, shakes the tackle, goes around the lineman, all the way down to the safety, nearly picks up the first down.
A nifty little run there, showing some quick moves and some nice speed. Pick up 10.
There is a flag on the play, though.
Yep. See which way this one goes.
It's going to go against the Eagles. Looked like that was a holding call. So this one's going to bring that great run by Chris Meredith back. Again, Meredith shaking a few tackles, getting into the secondary.
And that might have been one where he got those 10 yards because of that hold.
Yep.
So got to be a little more disciplined in there as the Granite Hills offense here really having a rough time in this third quarter getting anything going. It's been all Chula Vista here in the second half.
So ball at about this 15, 16-yard line for Chula Vista. 2nd and 20. And Russell down out of the backfield. Looks like that was Bisbal once again. No, correction. On that carry was Archer.
Cody Archer coming in, the junior running back. Getting some time here. You got to try something. Got to try different things if something's not working. Keep throwing different guys in there. Get some new energy.
As the clock ticks under 10 seconds, we'll see if Granite Hills gets a playoff in the third quarter. Meredith will take the snap with no time on the clock. Rolls out to his left, throws left. Pass is going to be caught there by Norris, and he's going to scamper out of bounds back almost to the original line of scrimmage, which is at about the 25-yard line. So that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. Once again, from Chula Vista, California, as the Chula Vista Spartans are on top 35-6. You're listening to PlayOn Sports Network. Friday Night Football, your destination for high school sports.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying right now? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information, as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all of the high school action each week. From your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
So it looks like we're going to have running clock in the fourth quarter. As the players are noticing it, referees say it's okay, and maybe not running clock.
And I believe
we're not going to have running clock.
Maybe the score, the the guys upstairs on the time got info that they were going to do a running clock, but they've got to wait until the play starts here, and the referees blow the whistle. So the idea is there.
So I guess it's not going to be running until it's actually snapped.
Right. I believe that's the way they do it. And here we go. Let's see if Chula Vista can continue this kind of romp here in the second half. They've already put up 2 touchdowns.
And all the way coming to this side is DeHaven. He's going to be gang tackled.
Now, I'm a little confused because didn't that last
I thought that
quarter,
was 4th down.
I thought the last quarter ended, and we were going to start this quarter at the fourth
with
fourth
Chula Vista
down.
ball. Wasn't it supposed to be Chula Vista ball? Wasn't that 4th down? Yeah.
Well, maybe it looks like the referee's going to start talking here.
I thought that, I don't know if that last play was 3rd down or 4th down, but it should have been Chula Vista ball.
I think what it was was they had the 3rd down. Remember, they got back almost to the line of scrimmage.
So now they're starting 4th quarter as teams rotate.
And they forgot to switch sides, too. So we're gonna have.
So they rotate plays, and now they have a 2nd down.
Still 12 minutes on the clock.
And so that was a no-time play.
There must have been a penalty at the end of that quarter that we missed while we were on commercial break.
That gave them automatic 1st down?
Yeah, it might have been. And now they're looking here, 2nd and 2 here, trying to get into Chula Vista zone, Chula Vista territory.
At the 46. And it's going to be handed off, looking to bounce outside, but it's thrown down to the ground with authority after he picks up a 1st down to about the 49-yard line. Great run there by Bisbal.
And Roderick Dixie coming in off the bench there, getting some playing time, making a huge play there, really showing some strength, just tossing down the running back there and making a really aggressive play. But it is going to be a 1st down. See if Granite Hills here can keep rolling on this drive that they ended the 3rd quarter with.
11 minutes and 30 seconds. Clock is now running. And the ball is taken, going to be pitched out. That was Hopper back, and big hit there. And I don't think he's going to get right back up, and he's not as he rolls over as Kyle Norris. Yeah, Kyle Norris took a pop there. We're now going to stop the clock at about 11 minutes. Again, Chula Vista on top, 35-6. That's Kyle Norris is on his knees. And
looked like it was Jalon Candler on the tackle there. Just a good hard tackle. No ill intent, nothing like that. But just maybe tweaked something. It was Kyle Norris there, and that's tough to see. One of your guys who, as a Granite Hills fan or teammate, he's down. You'd like to see those guys pop back up because you need him on the field, and he's a great player, obviously.
And he's not putting any pressure on his left leg.
And he's gonna get helped off the field there. Like you said, Robert, no pressure on that left leg. Could be maybe an ankle or a knee. And again, we just hope it's a little tweak or sprain, something that they can recover from quickly. With all the technology they have now and the excellent trainers, I mean, it's almost like you have a doctor on your team with these trainers out there who are so professionally trained. They've been to school. I'm sure they've done internships. So much education out there these days, and being able to share that with the high school athletes on the high school level is really important to help get those guys back on the field.
10:50 running clock now. Hopper in the shotgun formation, sending a man in motion. It's going to be a fake handoff. He's going to quarterback keep it himself, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and be taken down. Called a gain of 2 on the play.
And replacing Norris is Josh Longbreak. He was the one in motion on that play, getting some time in there. He's a junior, 5'11", so he's got maybe this year and next year to play. But I think it's really important as a junior to get some time in there. So then, as you become a senior, then you're a little more confident. Guys look to you for some advice. You've got a little more poise out there, and you can become a leader as a senior.
Back to pass once again. Forward out to the left. Pass is caught by Blanco. And looks like he's going to be very close to the first down mark, which was about the 39-yard line. They're going to give it to him. So first down for Granite Hills Eagles. Good job moving the ball here in the fourth quarter. 9 minutes and 53 seconds to go. They're trailing, but right now it's time to kind of work on your stuff. You're starting to get prepared for the rest of the season.
Exactly. Get some guys in there that maybe won't see a lot of playing time. You definitely don't want your main guys to get hurt. That's for sure. That's the worst thing that can happen. You're in a game that is kind of out of reach, and somebody's out for the season. Then that ruins the next game too for that guy.
Hopper. Ball handed off. That's going to be quarterback keeper there. Hopper keeps it. It's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. They do a great job of getting on that ball fake there.
And I feel like it's one of those where it's an all or nothing because he's keeping it, but he doesn't have anyone blocking for him. So the whole idea is that everybody on Chula Vista or any defense bites to that handoff, and then he kind of takes a step back and then takes off down the field.
It's a little read option kind of look for them, and it works well. But these Chula Vista guys in their front line, they're not being fooled too much. Besides that very first time they did it.
Yep.
It's not faked every time, but here's another man in motion, and it's going to be an inside handoff, not going anywhere. Big time tackle there as Jesse Bisball went down as soon as he took that counter handoff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the blockers. There was no hole. There was no offensive line there to push. It was just two Chula Vista monsters there just eating up Bisball.
Three wide receivers. 8 minutes on the clock now. Hopper throwing back to the pass, and that could possibly be a pass interference. And here comes the flag there as the full way down the field. The defender had his hand kind of right in his jersey the whole way.
And long break there, coming in fresh off the bench, the junior making a good play. He had his hands on the ball, and it was a good defensive job, in making contact, but he was just outside the laws of the game there. Yeah, I think Longbreak would have made that catch if it wasn't.
Roderick Dixie was on the coverage there, and he kind of had his hand, I don't know if it was stuck in his jersey, kind of right around the neck area.
Yeah. He'll say that, I'm sure.
It was just there the whole time running. Didn't even try to sell it or anything. Just was running, holding on to his jersey. So wait a minute, this guy's kind of running past me a little bit. Better hold on. So he gets called for the penalty. Ball's taken down to the 20-yard line. Clock is stopped now, 7:55. I thought we were running clock, but I guess on the penalty it stops. 35-6 is our score. Chula Vista on top. Hopper back to pass. Goes over the middle. Ball tipped in the air and incomplete. Will bring up second down for the Granite Hills Eagles.
And Chula Vista playing some great defense. Jorge Yanes on the coverage there, just tipping the ball away. Really wasn't too much space there for any of the Granite Hills wide receivers to go up and get that ball. It was put in a good spot, but it was just great coverage there.
So we're no longer running clock, I guess. So 7:49. Again, first week for everybody around these parts. So inside handoff is going to be taken, and about a gain of 4 on the play.
And Granite Hills they're not really being too successful in the air, but they've had the ball this whole fourth quarter and much of the end of that third quarter, and they've got a sustained drive out of it. You know, they're almost down to the 10-yard line. They've got a big third down here to pick up, 3rd and 5, to get that first, and then they can start thinking about the end zone. But they're eating up a lot of clock here, and they might find themselves running out of time.
Yep. So ball on about the 15-yard line. It's going to be given on a handoff. Has a little bit of room to run. Has a couple blockers. Gets down to about the 10. East and West running there. So it seems like he was running for a long time, but picked up about 5 yards on the play.
Yep, and again, that's all they needed for the first down. Puts them inside the 10-yard line. And Granite Hills here now knocking at Chula Vista's door. But I think as a Chula Vista coach, you're looking at the clock and you're saying, okay, they just ate up about 10 minutes of the game clock. And, yeah, they've had a good drive here, but we'll let them do that all day because there's about 6.5 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, Chula Vista has not seen the ball here in the fourth quarter. 6:30 to go in the third. Granite Hills at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for them. Ball over the middle, wide open, pitch and catch, touchdown made by Arath Blanco. So Blanco threw for a touchdown and now catches a touchdown for Granite Hills.
Stat sheet's looking pretty good tonight. And a little bit of motion coming out of the back there. Granite Hills came out, and then they had 2 guys go out to the right side as wide receivers, and I think what that did is just mixed up the coverage a little bit for the defense, and Chula Vista was caught a little off guard, a little on their heels, and a little more trickery, from that young coach over there. Coach Cobb's doing a good job of keeping Granite Hills in this game and getting them on the board.
So 10-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Tyler Hopper to backup quarterback Arath Blanco. So any way they can get it, and now Granite Hills will go for 2 to try to make the score 35-14. Pro formation, 2 running back, sending a man in motion. That's Dominic Baraga rolling out to the right, making a defender miss, and just going straight down is Roth Blanco. Blanco just recognized there's nothing going to work on that play there, and instead of taking some punishment, just fell to his knees. So 2-point conversion, no good. So 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the fourth. Chula Vista leads Granite Hills 35-12.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from all across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com. Once again, that is PlayOnSports.com.
So again, you're listening to PlayOnSports.com. Live from Chula Vista, California. Wonderful night here in San Diego County. As Friday Night Lights is back in action here in the San Diego section. Games all up across the country now with Play On Sports and their national network. We got San Diego section covered. Robert Fields along with John Henry Winter Nolte and the entire crew. Producer Marco Rodriguez and Megan Coffey on video. As this game is starting to wind down a little bit, kick rolls into the end zone. It's going to be an automatic touchback. So Chula Vista will take over on their 20-yard line. First time that they start at their 20.
And this game started out, the sun was just going down, and it was still pretty warm out here. And it was very humid. Since the sun's gone down, the full moon, I believe it is tonight, started coming up over the east mountains. And it's really nice right now. It's a nice cool breeze, still a little humid, but the guys out there, you can tell they're not feeling too famished or anything like that because the weather is kind of held up. It's cooler than they've been practicing in, that's for sure. And it's probably a little nice for them out there, especially Chula Vista. They're kind of rolling right now.
Yeah, we have one final in from around the county in San Diego as Helix, the #1 ranked team in San Diego County, defeated Eastlake 28-6. And Chula Vista here takes a quick handoff, gains about 2 yards there. But you look at the top 10 and top teams in all of San Diego, actually Chula Vista on the preseason rankings, they were ranked about 15th. They were in the section of others receiving votes. They received about eight votes to be ranked this season. So a nice dominant performance for them coming out in the first week of the season.
Definitely. We've seen it the second half. The first half, not so much, and that might be where a little bit of the skepticism comes in from the polls around San Diego, where if they can get it together, if they can, guys like Reed and everyone can come together and play, and the defense can step up, then shoot, they're gonna be a tough team to mess with. But if they show up like they did in the first half, maybe 15 if they're lucky.
Another gain of about 2 yards there for Chula Vista by Brandon Gill. And, another thing we keep highlighting that Helix-Eastlake game, but because Eastlake is also in the Metro Mesa Conference with Chula Vista, so they're going to be interesting to see how they match up later on down the line, as not only did Eastlake get second place last year, but Chula Vista is one of the teams that they want to beat, as well as Olympian, who's in that league as well. So we'll look to see the Olympian score a little bit later on. It's going to be a play-action fake. Rolling out to the right is backup quarterback Kevin Ayers, and pass is going to be incomplete. As he was looking for Gill again, and that's no good. So it's going to bring up fourth down. And I believe we're going to see the punting unit for Chula Vista the first time in this ball game.
And going back to the in-season matchups for how the leagues kind of pan out, I mean, Chula Vista, you look at this team, how they played tonight, how they play, how they could be playing against other teams, and it's like it's going to be fun as a either player or coach or fan for Chula Vista this year to watch your team kind of excel. I mean, this team's got some high-powered, high-flying plays and players, and I'm sure they're working hard. They want that title too. So don't look out for them. I definitely agree with you there.
And on the other side, for for Granite Hills, in the Grossmont Hills Conference, Helix is the number one ranked team in the county. So, everybody's kind of expecting them to win that conference. And Granite Hills showed some good things today, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up later on down the line with some pretty heavy powers in that conference with Helix and also Still Canyon. The Haya may have a down year as they lost one of the outstanding quarterbacks. So actually have a penalty on back to action here. Has a penalty. It was too many men on the field for Granite Hills. So it would have been a turnover of downs, a fourth down. But instead it's an automatic first down for Chula Vista.
Like you mentioned, that's the first time the punt team's been on. That means it's the first time that the punt return team's been on. And you got to have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted when the season starts. And if you take a game to figure those things out, this is what's going to happen,
So 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go in this ball game. Looks like Chula Vista pretty much has secured victory here. And we want to invite you guys to stay tuned for our post-game coverage. Again, we're going to have our player of the game interview as well as our post-game show. So that's in about 4 or 5 minutes. Once this game concludes, there's actually a timeout on the field now by Chula Vista. They got some of their backup guys in the game now. And again, with these younger guys usually in now, they don't get a lot of time, probably a lot of reps, but now they got some game action. Now they're ready to go, and you kind of see what these younger guys can do. You never know when you may need them.
Definitely. The experience factor is huge. I mean, you look at most teams, and I can't recall a team where they've got a freshman, even a sophomore, as a captain, as someone that the rest of the team is looking up to, a leader. And you're not grooming these guys, but you're definitely giving them the opportunity to shine. I mean, if some of these sophomores, maybe freshmen, are on the field right now, you got a chance to catch your coach's attention. And if you catch some attention, player goes down, somebody gets hurt, and you can replace someone. It's on you. Now you're the guy that's starting the games, and whether it's this season or next, you got to be mentally prepared. And these reps here are huge with the game situation, playing against an opponent like this.
So it's going to be inside handoff for Chula Vista, pushing the linebackers all the way back. Good run there, nearing a first down. 8 yards, and flags come in late on the play.
and running right with him there. The running back was following Javier Anzar.
Look, that was Yanis again on the carry.
Yeah, Reynes following Anzar up the middle there, and Anzar was just plowing through. I think that's maybe why there was a little bit of extracurricular activity. He just wasn't stopping. You know.
And we were talking about this outstanding league that Chula Vista is in, the Metro Mesa, again with Olympian, who were defending champions of the league. They were leading in their game. Last update we had was 21-0. They were going against Hilltop. So just down the road here in the South Bay, San Diego County. So again, now you look at, East Lake lost. They're going to start 0-1, but Chula Vista will be 1-0 and Olympian be 1-0 overall. So again, a good power conference, this Metro Mesa conference in San Diego County.
Yep.
Ball on the 45. It's going to be a pitch to the outside. Here's Yanez again. Looking to get to the outside, and it's going to be hit by the DB and spun around after a gain of 5. Yanez is a little a blur back there once he gets around to that corner. He's kind of small in stature. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. As clock continues to wind down, it's going to bring up second and about 4. We'll call it 4 or 3. We'll call it 3 on the play. Good run by Yanez.
Second down and 4.
Again, Chula Vista on top, 35-12. Second half explosion for them. They're up 14-6 at half, and first play, second half had big explosion. Here's a younger Reed. He bounces to the outside, has a little bit of room. Down to the 15 and out of bounds at about the 13. Javon Reed with a big burst there.
And Javon Reed, it's like you watching him run out there, and he's so smooth, but also so quick. I mean, you're watching him run, it's almost like there's no effort being put in. He's just kind of scooting along, and he's so smooth and so quick that he's able to make those cuts and kind of bounce off people, like you said, get around to the outside and pick up a big, huge gain for Chula Vista.
First and 10 for Chula Vista. Ball at the Eagle 13-yard line.
And, really after that first drive in the first of the second half, we haven't seen Javante Reed. But his little brother is coming in and is kind of taking over a lot of duties along with Yanez. Here's a up back to the fullback. Samisi Longi, his first carry of the game, picks up about 6 yards on that carry.
And going back to Reed, Javante, he's a senior this year, and I know they're going to lean on him a lot for his experience and the way he's running, obviously. But then his younger brother, number 22, Javon, he's just a junior. So we're watching him play tonight, and we're going to be watching him play again next year. And I'm sure he's going to get a lot of time this year and help this Chula Vista team pick up some big wins.
Yeah, Javante Reed, unofficial, I think he had about 230 yards in this game, and not bad when you're really playing 3 quarters.
Right.
Or it was really a half and a drive for him. I think he had a few carries on that second drive where they had the passing touchdown. But other than that, he's kind of been on the sideline, talking to the other coaches, talking to some of the other teammates, and nice night of work for him.
Right. He got sent home early, too.
Minute 40 left to go. Chula Vista looking to maybe tackle on one more score. Bouncing to the outside is Gill, and he's going to be taken down near a first down. We'll see where they spot it. A little jaw-jacking after the play there. Referees quickly break that up. And it's going to actually bring up 4th down. And I call it about 4th and 1.
And going back to Javante Reed and his performance tonight, he's got the stats, he's got the touchdowns, he's got the yards, and very impressive to watch him play. But at the same time, all of the other big plays that have happened, you have to kind of think about, as a defender, you're looking at Reed and going, okay, he's going to probably get the ball, I got to watch him. And then somebody else gets it, you're like, shoot, now you're out of position, you're a step behind, and somebody else is running right up your behind. And he's not getting any yards from that or a touchdown, but it's such an important part of the game to be able to establish someone who can run you over and also get outside. Got to watch him, but then got to also watch everybody else. It's tough.
Ayers kept it, called his own number there, and had the entire line and running backs pushing him forward. And I think they're going to give him a mark of first down. So first and goal, Chula Vista. Under a minute to play here. Again, they lead 35-12. We'll see if they run a few more plays or if they just take a knee and be content with this 35-12 victory. Going to let the clock run as they call it, break out the huddle. Again, Ayers.
John Jackson in the backfield here. He might get the call. He does.
He does, and he's hit right away.
Clobbered. John Jackson, not the biggest guy out there, but getting the call. I'm sure he's going to remember that one.
Well, you saw him in the backfield, and you thought he was going to get the call. And I don't know if you were patched in with Coach Cobbs and the Granite Hill staff, but they knew he was getting the ball too.
Yeah.
And they're in the backfield for a big loss. And I think that is going to do it for the final play of the game. And victorious in week 1, Friday Night Lights on PlayOn Sports, is Chula Vista Spartans 35-12 over the visiting Granite Hills Eagles. We invite you to stay tuned for our PlayOnSports.com postgame coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our postgame show, and we'll have our interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, Chula Vista Eagles on top, 35-12 over the Granite Hills. Chula Vista Spartans over the Granite Hills Eagles, 35-12. Stay tuned to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Welcome back to Play On Sports coverage of Friday Night Football. I'm joined by our player of the game, Javonte Reed of the Chula Vista Spartans. And Javonte, your stat line reads like this: 22 carries, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a victory in week 1 for your Spartan team. Now, you guys have big expectations this year, so what was it like to come out there and really get it done in week 1?
It was really. I was really excited just to come out and work hard, run through the holes. I have to think about all linemen also for blocking for me and everything.
Okay, now you thank your offensive lineman, and we were talking in that first half. You kind of was getting you guys win together. Seemed like kind of getting your jitters together, and you come out in that second half and bust that big run. Did they give you some great orange slices or something at halftime?
Yeah.
What was done at halftime?
Coaches got on me, just told me what I have to do, and I did it.
And now when you're out there running, you make it look so effortless. What's your favorite part of your game that you like to do out there? I mean, you weren't really giving too many stiff arms. You just kind of running by guys.
Just breakaway speed.
Just breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, I like that. You don't have to be shy. It's okay to say I got breakaway speed. They can't catch me when I get out there. So Javonte, now you start the year off with this big yardage. You're going down in the record books as one of the best runners in Chula Vista history. What do you want to accomplish on a personal level going into this year, your senior year?
Personal level, I want to get a full ride scholarship to college and play college football.
Okay, and I mean, they're going to take notice when you put in big numbers like this. Now, for you guys' ball club, you guys are going to compete in the Metro Mesa League, got tough competition there, eventually try to get a section title. How good do you think you guys are this year?
I think we're one of the top teams in our league this year. So I don't think no one can stop us.
All right, and well, you heard the words here from Javonte Reed, one of the top teams, not only in your league, but also San Diego County. Again, his Chula Vista Spartans were victorious tonight, 35-13, and he finished 22 carries, 231 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Our player of the game, Javonte Reed. Thanks, Javonte.
Thank you a lot, too.
And welcome back to Chula Vista, California, and the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where Chula Vista was victorious, 35-13. 35-12, I'm sorry. They really came out and showed their stuff tonight. And what do you think, how you think their outlook is going to look for the year?
I mean, just being down there on the field with the guys, you could tell they were very confident. Talking to Javonte, I was like, so where are you guys sitting this year? Are you going to be pretty good? Are you going to contend? And he goes, yeah, we want to win. And I was like, well, yeah, you want to win. He goes, no, we want to win it all. It's like, okay. And that kind of confidence, it wasn't there in the first half. The second half, that first run, you heard exactly what he said. He goes, I just listened to my coaches and did just what they told me, and I want to thank my offensive line. I mean, that's the kind of kid that you want leading your team to victory in a year. I mean, he's going to be so successful this year, and it was so fun. It's such a pleasure to watch him run tonight. And like he said, we got to give credit to his own line, to the rest of the guys on that offense, and then we got to look at the defense and say, okay, they only allowed Granite Hills to score 12 points. I mean, if they're scoring 12 points, I think Javonte alone is going to put up 21, and that you're looking pretty good for the rest of the year.
And on the other side of the ball for Granite Hills, what kind of positive things can you take away from this, the first game of the year in the Cobb coaching era? He had some nice-looking plays there, and I don't know if the talent just has to come and grasp on with the rest of the plays that he has. But he looked good at they had good moments out there.
Yeah, they definitely had flashes of greatness. They have a ton of speed. They don't quite have the size of a lot of other teams, but they've got the speed. They've got the heart. And they've got, I really do think they have the talent. And because it is Coach Cobb's first year, because these guys, it's the first game of the year. I mean, it could be a coach who's been there 20 years, and it's still the first game of the year. These guys are still coming together. They're figuring things out. They looked great on a couple different things. They've got guys like Bisbal running the ball, Hopper, and then a few other guys at quarterback. It looks like Hopper's kind of won that first position, and some real talent that if they kind of put it together at the right times during a game, get a few stops, which they did this game, they're going to look great.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up from Chula Vista High School, where the Spartans of Chula Vista defeated the Eagles of Granite Hills 35-12. We'd like to thank you for joining PlayOnSports.com coverage of Friday Night Football from the San Diego section. Be sure to check out PlayOnSports.com for more information and links to all of our upcoming broadcasts. For our producer, Marco Rodriguez, our videographer, Megan Coffey, and my partner, John Henry Winter Nolte. Got it right when he counted, buddy.
There we
I'm
go.
Robert Fields saying so long. We'll hope you'll join us next Friday night on your destination for high school sports and Friday Night Football, PlayOnSports.com.